Tears from a 12-year-old living in Bangladesh soak your sweatshirt. Blood from a child's finger in China dried in the sole of your shoe after they pricked their finger on a needle. A mother of 7 leaves home at 4 a.m. to walk to the factory, but what she does not know is she is slowly dying from the toxic fumes she inhales every day. Fashion is understood to be clothing, leather, and footwear made of textiles and material goods. Yet, who really thinks of how they were made or where they have been before they are nicely folded on the shelves of the store? As college students, we are finding our true selves and our style, leading us to buy and dress how we want to portray ourselves. We are also frequent users of social media, again, to portray ourselves. For better and new content on social media, and at every social function, we often expect to see different and new outfits, along with accessories such as jewelry, purses, shoes, that complement and highlight the style of those we follow. Never stopping to think about the process before your new outfit ended in your closet, I am here to tell you, to remind you that the production of all your clothes and most clothing sold in stores is produced globally and usually unethically. From material sourcing, manufacturing, consumption, and even disposal, all environments of fast fashion are unethical to humankind and the environment. Climate change and the fashion industry are mortal enemies. As major brands, top designers, and publications make strides in the world promoting eco-friendly options, renting, and even second-hand, I was largely influenced by the new topic of discussion. I had not realized how my habits were extremely harmful. I was not aware, nor are other students, which is why activism and awareness of unethical and sustainable fashion choices are so important. Fast fashion has influenced social media and has become an unsustainable sector of the industry, causing negative impacts on the environment. Major companies and brands must move towards sustainable fabrics, less turnaround, and cheap waste created at large factories in order to lessen the effects on climate change. Imagine walking into your mall to browse a few stores looking for the outfit for the concert you are going to on Saturday. Everything in your closet, everyone has already seen and is looking drab to you. Settling on Forever 21, you pick a few items to try on and take home. This is where the problem surfaces. Clothing retailers like H&M, Forever 21, Zara, and even Gap have been criticized using sweatshops, where employees are poorly paid and forced to work in environments that can be dangerous. These factories also result in high levels of textile waste, water pollution, and toxic chemicals, all which lead to negative impacts on the environment. After going home with your purchase that costs less than your lunch, you don't think twice about what you'll have to wear Saturday or even the production of your shirt. Now, think about the lifetime of that shirt. Fast fashion produces 97% of clothing overseas. The material had to be harvested, say it was cotton, grown, picked, and then gone into a factory where they bale the fibers into yarns, wovens, or knits. Then it is sent home somewhere to be dyed, dried fast enough that it could be cut and sewn. Then shipped, and shipped again, and finally made it into your plastic bag that you take home and throw away. Along with the whole route, labor and people were needed to push the process along. Unsafe working conditions are common. Garment factory workers often work extremely long hours with minimal pay. In addition, cases of mental, physical, and sexual abuse are frequent. But even then, your shirt still cost you $10 and was sold to the franchisee at an even lower at-cost price, which means these laborers are getting the smallest percentage of that $10. Not only does fast fashion result in unethical human practices, but it creates detrimental problems in our environment. The industry is responsible for high carbon emissions, wastewater pollution, and large amounts of landfill waste. Fast fashion is second only to oil as the largest polluter. Fast fashion emits 1.2 billion tons of CO2 each year. This is about 5% of global emissions. That is more than the emissions created by air travel. Fast fashion produces 20% of global wastewater each year. In 2015, the fast fashion industry created 92 million tons of wastewater. This results in the contaminations of river, ocean, freshwater sources, and soil. If a portion of these practices were reduced or even stopped, climate change will see a very positive reduction in effects. Unfortunately, these problems are occurring with thousands of companies and myriad brands worldwide. But what initiated this rapid growth? Fast fashion allows mainstream consumers to purchase trendy clothing at an affordable price. Fast fashion became common because of cheaper clothing, an increase in appetite for fashion, and the increase in purchasing power. Social media has created the consume now and throw away later mindset in younger generations. Kim Kardashian even posted on Instagram asking fast fashion brands to wait until she actually wears a dress before selling a knockoff. The rapid global sensation that is quick style caused binge culture to further heighten the issue through peer pressure mentality. If he's doing it and she's doing it, then it must be okay. Our environment is hurting, humanity is crying out for help, all because of a quick and simple way to save money while remaining in the modern social media and style standards. There's a lack of education and awareness surrounding the logistics behind the fashion industry. And how does one begin to take action on such a wide range and large global issue? A simple solution starts with the problem itself: social media. Spreading awareness on public and global platforms, more companies, nonprofits, fashion editorials, and magazines can educate the public and their target audience on the issue at hand. The larger the awareness of the issue will be spread faster. Bringing the issue to scale where people feel like they have an impact is just as important. Recycling clothing systems and companies have the opportunity to start a positive change. Many online platforms for thrifting and upcycling clothing within communities have become a trend, which continues the longevity of fast fashion before it hits the landfill. Rent the Runway is a global company that allows consumers to rent, yes, pay a smaller price, then return the designer and upscale fashion. Nuuly, a brand from URBN, has also started a similar company. Consigning old clothing or shopping at thrift stores allows individuals to take simple steps to help the cause. Other companies, even startup brands, have introduced the idea of strictly sustainable materials, avoiding outsourcing production to eliminate the use of unethical and environmentally harmful production practices. This occasionally results in higher prices, but for a more ethically sound wardrobe. All factors in play, the issue of fast fashion is something much bigger than originally imagined by most. A policy must be set in place to regulate the binge culture of fast fashion. There must be standards set to reduce the emissions and toxic waste. In addition, the standards of hours, pay, and environment in the workplace and factories, I propose that the UN sets working environment standards and pay minimums that forces the fashion industry to take more time and appreciation for the trade. In cooperation with the FDA and global organizations who can regulate the harvest and creation of materials for all clothing and fashion manufacturers. After all, just because the internet has created an easily accessible platform to buy does not mean that the earth and the people behind the purchase need to suffer. Fast fashion is unsustainable in the industry and causes negative impacts. The negative climate effects, as well as human rights issues, must be addressed soon through education, preventative action, and policy, in order to reverse the effects that will change the course of history. Don't fret over your lack of likes. The microscopic image of the fibers and DNA of your new clothing is far uglier than that picture you posted from your night out.